What Board Bill 82, as amended in committee, does is it sells the property of Interco Plaza, which the city has already started that process. Sell the whole Interco Plaza to Star Groups to create a parking lot. The process already started with the sale of Interco Plaza. Currently, there is about a portion of Interco Plaza that is owned by Star Group. Before that, it was owned by Paul McKee. The city actually sold that parcel to Northside Regeneration, and then Northside Regeneration sold it to Star Groups.
Calls this into question because to me this is important. We all took an oath to uphold the charter, and it is in the charter that public parks should be voted on by the people if we're to ever sell them or lease them, because this is supposed to be land for the people. So it's not just about my community or your community. Like the Alderman from the 5th mentioned earlier, I see my job as looking citywide. It's really important that we protect these green spaces because once we lose them, it's very difficult to get them back. So, for example, in committee, we were told that parks are designated by ordinance by the Board of Aldermen. That is what makes a park. And since this didn't have an ordinance, this isn't a park. But only 62 of the 109 St. Louis parks have ordinances. So I would ask all of our colleagues here to think about, do you know if the parks in your ward are protected by ordinance per this opinion by the city councilor? Because if not, and if we're going with this reasoning, then those could be in danger of being sold without a vote of the people. We must restore people's trust that parkland will not be nibbled away to solve the challenges or whims of corporations or other non-park groups. Approval of such a change to our city charter would be a gift to elected officials and the appointees to various boards of today and future generations. It would eliminate the temptation to wither under pressure from powerful non-park interests and or funding crises.
Verbiage in Section 1 of Article 26 was made so that it didn't just say something that was a park, something that was made by ordinance to be a park, but that it would cover all the things that people had relied on was a park that maybe did not have a quote-unquote ordinance. Don't you think that's why the ordinance was written that? I'm sorry, the charter was written that way?
I don't just think that. I know that from conversations I've had with the people behind that effort and the people who wrote that language. Furthermore, I'd say that the context here matters, right? Because we're not saying only parks created by ordinance, you have to look at the broader context. And that's where I think the city councilor's opinion falls short, in that I don't think it took into account things. It doesn't mention the plat map. It doesn't mention the strategic land use plan. It doesn't mention the numerous ways this has been laid out as a park and held out for use as a park.
Because let me say this. So hearing the conversation between the 14th Ward Alderman and other people, it is almost like, well, if we decide we're not going to do anything to a park, we can just put a chain link fence around it, not do anything for a while, and then say, well, hey, that's not a park because nobody uses it as a park. Because for a while now, do you know how that chain link has been around that plaza? So it's prevented people from using it. Is that correct?
Yes.
Once, but twice. This area, I know there's a lot of concern, and I hear it from my colleagues, but I could tell you now this area where Interco Plaza sit is not like Handy Park or some of the other parks that we talk about, where actually it is a relaxed place for people to go with their family or with their dog to actually look at, to hang out in this area as a park. It is not that. It has been a nuisance. It's not only been a nuisance for the city, but it's been a nuisance for the people in the surrounding area. And I know